And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from the Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, TJ Johnson and we talked about Michael moonwalking into theaters. It's having a big run right now and a huge first weekend. We reflect both my live and his viewing of WrestleMania 42 and our thoughts from there. And also, well, we predict what will be the top 10 movies of the summer. We play Fantasy League once again. So who will win? We don't know. Josh Peterson on Monday is going to add in his top 10 movies of the summer. So go ahead and check out what we're talking about at the Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts. Want to go ahead and give some love to my man Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You've got Kobe and Gigi right here as far as the pillow is concerned. Kobe and Luka right behind me. And you see a little bit to my right, you'll see a goat sign as far as it goes. Didn't play like that today. Look like a tired goat in LeBron James, a little bit to the side right there. But if you want quality quality art like this, if you want quality material, if you want really good stuff in the realm of sports and pop culture, go ahead and check it out today at Drip Show Shop, wherever you get your social media. And if you like what you see or you have an idea, go ahead and reach out to at Drip Show Shop, wherever you get your social media, indeed. But also as well, good friend indeed of the show, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, also want to go ahead and mention the Lakerholics crew at Lakerholics.com. I did speak to Michael Heinrich and Laker Tom. No, Laker Tom did not drop an F-bomb or two and storm on out like he did the previous occasion. It was actually very cordial. So go ahead and hear what they have to say today on our Lakers weekend show on the Lakerholics from Lakerholics.com. Yeah. Well, the Lakers came in to today, game 4, with a chance to sweep to get that broom out. And as was said by Jay's Plays Jays, a little bit premature. I'll just say this. My man Craig, he posted on my Lakers latest channel, the one I do for Fan Arc Network every morning. So go ahead and check it out today. It's a really good 15 to 20 minutes of me basically encapsulating what happened and what went on in the world of the Lakers each and every day. He commented on that he wanted the Lakers to go ahead and win game 3 because game 4 would be tough with it. Only 1 day off time frame before the Lakers would have to hit the court again. He thought it would be tough for LeBron to get up for game 4 and the Lakers to get up for game 4. And Craig is a soothsayer because he saw the future. The Lakers came in today and just looked washed. They looked tired. Whatever you want to say, they just looked like a team that thinks, like Jay says, like a team like they want to go ahead and win it in LA. I'm not sure they really wanted to give that extra effort because it doesn't look like they could. At various times, they look sloppy, they look tired, they look lethargic. Both ends of the floor just couldn't execute on either end, and it was a mess right from almost the get-go as the Lakers slipped behind in the first half, and it got farther and farther and farther away as the Lakers finally just did the El Foldo act in the third quarter, and it became garbage time in the fourth quarter. The only bright, shining hope for the Lakers for the entire game was DeAndre Ayton with 19 and 10, but he got ejected for a flagrant against Alperen Şengün. More ejections came later on with Aduthiero and also as well Holiday for Houston, Aaron Holiday for Houston. So, yeah, it wasn't a pretty game at all. But again, the Lakers are still up 3-1. And the NBA playoffs have never had a team that's come back from down 3-0. We could still hold on to that. But the chances of a sweep are gone with a 115-96 defeat of the Los Angeles Lakers. And want to hear your thoughts before any of the guys jump in. Truly glad to have you here. Again, I'm still considering as far as good times for the Lakers because again, 3 games to 1 when not many people were expecting it, I think is a still a positive sign indeed. I know that everybody is feeling down right now about what happened tonight, but the Lakers are still up 3-1 heading back to the friendly confines of the crypt. So hopefully they can go ahead and get the job done indeed. But yes, absolutely looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the chat. Let me go ahead and hear what you have to say. Michael was so good. Gerald Michael was so good. So yes. Well, I'm glad because the critics are roasting this film, but it's got an A- cinema score, JSJ. So I'm glad you like it. It's pretty, what I'm gathering, a straightforward by the numbers type deal as far as biography of Michael Jackson. So if you're into that, it's cool. It won't touch on many of the controversial subjects as far as that part of his life. There are also legal reasons why they couldn't approach that. And Antoine Fuqua, who's an extremely gifted director, just go see Training Day and you'll know what I mean. He, it looks like he set it up for a possible second movie to detail. Whether or not that will cover any of the more scandalous or controversial parts of Michael's life, we'll have to go ahead and wait and see. But I do know there's some legal restrictions, I believe, as far as some of the things they can and cannot say in a movie like that. So I just wanted to make sure. I know they had to do some reshoots because they could not. They filmed part of the controversial parts of it, but yeah, they couldn't show it. So they had to go ahead and reshoot that to a more happier or more less I guess safer ending as far as it's concerned. What's up, Intel? Then came game 4. Yeah, he's not happy. Again, a very lethargic effort for the team. And I know Joe refuses to believe in his hard oak wood mind of his that, teams can be tired, players can be fatigued. But with 2 players down already and the Lakers not having a reserve unit that has done uh, not been consistent, I'll say that. Let's just say not because they've been good on one game, but the other 2 games haven't given you a whole lot. With that, obviously fatigue has set in, and they look like a tired team today. Very sloppy, 23 turnovers, uh, and it looked bad right from the get go as far as the sloppiness. They were able to stay in it in the first quarter for a while, even despite the sloppiness. But yeah, we see what happens when they just continually made mistakes. They're shooting as far as it's concerned. Let's go ahead and run the numbers for you guys. 23% from 3, 50% overall from the field, but 23% from 3. When you only make 5 3-pointers, that's going to be a tough hill to climb for the Lakers indeed. Like you said, CB, not as focused. I think that's probably the best way to say it, whether it's fatigue, whether it's confidence that you think you're going to finish them off in 4, what have you. We didn't see a very focused effort. So he says he hopes the Lakers can turn it back on at home. I hope they can too. So we will definitely wait to see if that's going to be the case. Austin Reaves did warm up again before the game and was a late scratch once again. So was also Kevin Durant. So he gets a reprieve. I believe he has a bone bruise in his ankle now, or it's related. It's not the knee; it's the ankle now this time around. As far as the sprained ankle, as far as the concern, or the sprained ankle and a bone bruise in his knee. I know he had that previously, so we'll see if he can come back for Game 5. Absolutely. Gregory says Lakers lose the series. JJ should be fine. Here we go. You guys are never happy. You're never you guys correct me up. But Craig, you did call it, my friend. You did say that the Lakers should focus in on game 3 for the victory, and they did. Because you thought with the 1 day off in between games that would affect the Lakers adversely, and it did. Houston, with their youth, seemed more energetic. They seemed more apt to go ahead and create those turnovers, exploit the Lakers' areas of defensive weaknesses. I know that Luke Kennard was exploited a little bit more. I told you guys I was worried about that. Luke Kennard, if you isolate him or get him out there on an island, it does look concerning at times. But again, that's they were able to find ways to go ahead and just find that energy that the Lakers couldn't today. And the Lakers unfortunately lose today, 115-96. But again, 3 games to 1. We go back for game 5. We'll see what happens indeed. But Gregory, you're just killing me, man. You're killing me. JY says no halftime adjustments. Teams of mind and body. We're in LA. Lakers in 5. Again, whatever adjustments were made, they just didn't seem to affect at all. It just seemed like right from the get go in the second half, it just got even worse. And this game was over essentially by halfway through the third quarter. Once it got up and beyond 20, that's all she wrote. CB says, yes, the Lakers must put Houston away in 5. Wait and see. Yep. JSJ, the international box office, even if the domestic fades, international box office, I had said on the Pop Culture Cosmos, would be good for this film. And I am proving out to be right on that one. Craig says role players don't play well. No, they don't traditionally said. And Craig, as you saw on Lakers latest, I was called out for not mentioning Luke Kennard for game 3, even though I had went on praising him for game 1 and game 2 because he didn't shoot well in game 3. Well, game 4, like we see, it's just hard for role players to continue to play at a higher level on the road in the playoffs. Even though Luke is a veteran, they were more, it looked like they paid him more attention on both sides of the ball, and it just looks like that Luke could not meet up to that challenge, or the team could not find ways to free him up on both sides of the ball. Intel, appreciate the super chat as always. Houston left their starters out there to the very end despite being up big. Yes, I noticed that. And then until the very end, until when the Lakers already had their scrubs out there and Houston had their scrubs out there at the very end. But yes, I did see late in the game that Houston still had several of its starters out there until very late in the fourth quarter. Lakers were down by 26 at one time in the fourth quarter, and I still saw LeBron out there earlier in the fourth quarter, and I was not exactly pleased. But Joe would be happy about that because Joe loves to see that type of thing. So, but again, appreciate the super chat. Houston left their starters out there to the very end, and yep, despite being bad. Yes, again, this is a game where you're just going to have to chalk it up as loss, try and figure out what you need to do better, and move on from there. The Lakers have a lot to clean up as far as the turnovers concerned. 23 turnovers is atrocious, and it's inexcusable. It's absolutely sloppy play. And the fact is they're going to have to try and defend Alperen Şengün a little bit better. And is Amen Thompson going to continue that time? I would not bank on Amen Thompson shooting that well as he did from the floor 2 games in a row. If Amen Thompson's going to go 10 for 16, that's a recipe for disaster for any other team. But that's the fact that he just is not that good of an offensive player as of yet. So I don't expect him to do as well in game 5. The guy you got to make sure you slow down is Alperen Şengün. Tari Eason shooting 7 to 10. These guys that are shooting 7 to 10, 10 to 16, those guys have got to be slowed down. And Reed Shepherd did show up today, 6 to 12, 4 or 7 from 3, 17 points. Again, it's like the deal that we talk about with Dalton Connect all the time. I know Dalton, you got a sighting of him in garbage time today. Why is Dalton Connect not getting more playing time? I know that's something that's universally talked about by our chat. And that's the same thing with Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd, when he's not hitting his threes, he gets exploited, and that his defense is just that much more shown out there. But if his go ahead and make up for a lot of things on the other end of the floor. So when Reed Shepherd is hitting his threes like that and is being effective from the field like that, then it obviously allows him to, be able to go ahead and stay out on the floor. But yeah, Dalton Connect, that same mindset. I mean, it's just if Dalton can go out there and kill it from 3, then he'll be able to see a lot more time. But his defense, again, it's just the parallels between him and Shepard, because both those guys are just hard to watch on that end of the floor. But the Lakers were not able to exploit it today. They weren't able to exploit much. Tired, lethargic, whatever you guys want to say. It was just a bad showing for the Lakers indeed. But here today to talk about today's game and the NBA playoffs, a good man indeed. I hope he is feeling even better. It is, of course, Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Legend, great to have you here. Great to have you back on the show, my friend. Just a game where, Lakers had their hands on the broom. Unfortunately, they dropped the broom and put it back on the shelf, because today they just showed up and did not get it done. Focus, fatigue, whatever you want to say. It just looked like there were components of this game where the Lakers, just right from the get-go, look like they just did not feel like playing today.
Yeah, they looked like they was exhausted and just didn't have it. They didn't have it. I mean, they had like over 20 turnovers, and that is just crazy. They had that many turnovers. LeBron, everyone just played like Just keep it real. They played like a dumpster fire tonight, and just didn't have it. They went out here and got their butts kicked. I'm gonna assume they're gonna take care of business in Game 5. But me personally, you should have ended this thing tonight. You should have won and ended. Got that rest. Get ready for Oklahoma, because I expect Oklahoma to probably going to wrap this up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with it, is the fact that now you're just delaying the inevitable, but you're also having less time to go ahead and rest and plan up for Oklahoma City, Legend.
And at the same time, too, you gave yourself more wear and tear, and you giving them guys confidence. You had them down in the dumps. You had them where you want them. They had no confidence, even though they didn't play like they didn't have confidence. But you just gave them some confidence, like maybe we can push another game, survive for another day. Now you're gonna go into Game 5. I'm gonna assume Austin Reaves probably gonna play Game 5. I'm gonna assume that, but this should have not went to Game 5. Should have won the ended. And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm OKC, I'm licking my lips right now. Keep on playing, keep on going, keep messing around. That's what they want you to do. Should have ended.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Terrell Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Lakers lose 115-96. They're still up 3-1. Stefan Piscano podcast. Please like and subscribe to his channel. His next video probably will be Kevin Durant and his lost legacy. Well, with the burner phones and his legacy is fine. He's one of the top 10 scorers of all time. He's got championships. You're all into legacy, Stefan. Let go of the legacies, okay? He's going to be on a yacht somewhere in 10 years in retirement. He's good from his burner phone, by the way. But also here today, good man indeed. It is, of course, the man behind the Joe Soro experiment. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, glad to have you here. All the love, though, Stefan. Make sure, again, I told them, like and subscribe. Great to have you here, Joe. Dodgers are on a roll once again, 19-9. Wroblewski, dang, that guy can pitch. That's always a great thing to see. And you're getting relief pitching once again, which is good. Trying to bring in some good stuff into here before we talk about the bad. The negative, of course, is that the Lakers came in today looking for a sweep, didn't get it done, and looked lethargic and fatigued in doing so. Very sloppy play, even sloppier than in Game 3. They were able to get away with it in Game 3, but not in Game 4.
Well, the Rockets hit their shots in this game and were in every passing lane and trapped the entire game. They played a level above the Lakers tonight, and the Lakers kind of quit. They kind of quit in the second quarter, I think. And I don't know if it was because they were tired. I mean, maybe LeBron, but who else is old on this team? I think in the end, it was just Houston Houston focused and making shots. If Houston's making shots, they're difficult to play because they do play good defense and they are a young team. I don't see them. I don't see the Lakers losing 4 straight in the series. That would be mind-boggling to me. But I do think that Austin Reaves will be back for Game 5 in LA. I believe that's going to happen.
Do you think they did the same thing as that they might have done in the previous game, Joe, where, okay, Kevin Durant is scratched, so we're going to just have a scratch for Austin? Or was that, do you think that was separate from that?
I think they were thinking they've got house money, and if they can close it, cool. That gives Austin another 5 days, 6 days, whatever it was between the first and second round. And then if they did lose, then, well, he's got a few days to rest and maybe get a little bit of a wind under him in Game 5, and they can close it out at home. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. They looked like they didn't want to really play today.
No, but they looked tired. They did look tired.
And that's the part I don't understand. I don't understand.
I said that in my.
I don't understand. LeBron James is the only player in the NBA that should be tired. That's at this point, and anyone that obviously is like a Kevin Durant too. It's just I cannot understand what is going on with this mentality of. I mean, just look at what happened today in this game. You had 2 ejections for some of the softest, most disgusting plays you could watch. So you kick out DeAndre Ayton, because you felt he gave a purposeful elbow that hit Sengun in the face, that didn't draw blood, that didn't leave a bruise. And then I don't even know what the hell. Why did Adu get kicked out?
Him and Holiday.
This stuff is exhausting, and I'm still waiting on. I thought they were going to figure out what happened with the Minnesota Denver thing. Are they going to do anything with that? Are they
major fines? That was it.
Major fines. Oh, okay. So they're choosing how they want to do this now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you kick out a dude who didn't do anything, and then you kick out DeAndre Ayton for elbowing Sengun in the mouth that didn't draw blood, that didn't draw a bruise, that didn't take him down to the ground.
It looked very.
There's no consistency in anything. I don't know. I really don't know if I didn't notice things when I was a kid, but I guess as an adult, you might notice everything these days and how stupid everything is. It's just dumb. It's a dumb. People are fucking dumb everywhere. It's like nonstop fucking stupidity, and it doesn't matter. Social media, like it's everywhere. You can't watch a basketball game. You can't see some guy trying to make a play without getting kicked out now, or defending himself. Oh, they're not going to fight. Of course they're not going to fight, because they'll get suspended, they'll get kicked out, and they'll get fined like $30,000. Of course no one's going to fight.
Well, they were anyways in Minnesota. I think Jokic was fined $50,000. Just to give you an idea.
$50,000 for 50,000. I don't give a shit how rich he is. $50,000 for defending his team. That's fucking bullshit. That is bullshit. Adam Silver, you're a fucking disgrace. The NBA is a fucking disgrace. Waiting 10 minutes for a fucking flagrant foul. How many times have I said, if you need to review something for 10 minutes to see if it's a flagrant foul, it fucking wasn't. It should be obvious. Or am I not a common sense thinker? Or am I too emotional? You know, it's interesting how people interpret crying being intense. That's one of the things I always cracked up on. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Who's crying here? I'm defending what I'm saying. And you're not listening. Therefore, the volume goes up. That happens with anybody around me, by the way. Because when the volume goes up, people start to pay attention a little bit more. That's why you do that. But it's a what do you want these guys to do? What do you want them to do? Well, I don't really understand why you have to fine people for defending themselves, for defending their team. I see that a lot in football when someone would hit somebody really hard, let's say a quarterback, and their offensive lineman comes in and tries to protect their player. When did this start happening? When did this become a problem in sports? It was already a shitty night. Last thing I needed to see is more stupidity coming from every angle of everything. I mean, the amount of stupidity on just online, and just you were talking about the Dodgers. Sit here, listen, reading stuff from my friends' stuff. I'm not even reading I don't get on there. These people are talking about the Cubs. They win one game because of a fluke drop by Andy Pages. He catches that ball on Friday. Your dumbasses get swept. Oh, see the Dodgers. And then as soon as the Dodgers win, they whoop the shit out of them 2 straight games. Oh, yeah, that's because they bought their titles. What, they didn't buy their titles on Friday either? What, they just turned everything in on Friday night, and then they came back Saturday and Sunday. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. The two-faced hypocrite fucks. That stuff. And this stuff in the NBA and all this nonsense is just it adds to the irritation on when are you going to let things happen that matter? Emotion, accidents, incidental contact. I guarantee you if that was, I don't know how many times I've seen an elbow go to somebody's noggin. Why did they decide to kick him out now?
It wasn't even extended. It was
nothing happened to him. He didn't fall even. How would that warrant an ejection? How? You essentially cut any chance of the Lakers winning that game when you eliminated Ayton. Even though they might have not won anyways, you guaranteed they weren't going to win. And I'm not going to say it was a fucking fix. Fuck that too. Okay? What is it? What constituted an ejection from that play? What? Why? Why tonight? The one game DeAndre Ayton was playing well in, you kick him out of him. The only chance we probably had of maybe coming back was him in there. Consistency, hypocrisy are so exclusive these days. It's just you're just constantly you saw what happened yesterday, which I'm just using it as an example. The amount of idiocy, the amount of fucking garbage. I'm not talking about criminals either, guys. I'm not talking about anyone that's not on the right side, whatever that side is. It's everyday morons, everyday idiots, like stupid refs, stupid commissioners of leagues, stupid morons that say everything is fake, the moon landing is fake, the earth isn't round. Like, after a while, this all starts to build and build and build and build. And this is the result. Little things like this will start bothering you because of how stupid people are. You can't let Jokic, the guy that should have won 5 straight MVPs, you can't let him go defend his team. You're going to fine him $50,000 because that fucking idiot broke an unwritten rule. Really? You want to talk shit? That's fine. Broken unwritten rule, came in there, got into his face. Don't you think some common sense should be factored into that? When does Jokic ever do shit like that? When? If it was Draymond Green, yeah, okay, fine him, because that motherfucker's done it 20 times. Fine. Jokic, really? $50,000? What is that gonna do now? You're basically telling him you can't defend your team. You can't defend what's right. And you find people when you suspended Brian Shaw. You know, if anybody who knew where I was going with this, you know where I'm going with it. I know a lot of you are young. You don't remember this. Brian Shaw literally put his toe on the line, and he got suspended. And now you're going to find 7 guys who were all the way out. And then you kick out DeAndre Ayton, no blood, no bruise, no knockdown, no nothing. For what? It's exhausting. It's exhausting because what sucks is you want to support your team. You want to enjoy something that doesn't mean anything. Okay, this is what it's about, guys. Not everything in life has to mean something. I've had this discussion with my friends so many times. Oh, why do you even care about those prima donnas and care about this whatever and blah, blah, blah. What do you care about? What do you care about? What? You just go to work, jerk off at home, and go to sleep all day? Like, that's your routine every day. And then bitch about your fucking life. Is that what you want me to do? How about enjoy competition? Enjoy something that's unique. There's only 450 fucking NBA players on the planet. This is a very unique thing. And there's competition involved and amazing plays that are involved. But it gets ruined by people that are not that talent. It's ruined by fucking people who are in charge of the whatever the fuck they're in charge of.
Once again,
I don't know if anybody heard what the fuck I said just now.
They did. So you said that's not that talented. I think that's the last word you had.
It's exhausting when those who don't have the talent are in charge. Those who are not, in my view, qualified to fucking manage a fucking lemonade stand at the corner over here. Seriously, it's exhausting. I'm so exhausted with stupidity, moronic garbage everywhere you see it. It's every fucking way. Last 24 hours, it's been a fucking disaster. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. It's there. It's fucking festering all the time. Everywhere you go, you hear it. It's just, you can't get away from it. Can't get away from this stupidness. I don't see how the Lakers are going to lose 4 in a row, and that's the other part. They're going to come back and win 4. I heard this shit when the Yankees were up 5-0 in Game 5. Oh my God, they're going to go back to LA and win the next 2 games. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about the sport. You don't know anything. You're in your room or you're in your fucking toilet writing all this. You have no life. You're a fucking moron. You're useless to society. That's what all that is. Have a purpose. Go walk. Go in the ocean and just walk in there. That's my advice to everybody. Clean your fucking face out. Clean your ears out. Clean your mouth out. I don't know whatever the fuck it is that you do. But tonight's game was just, it was already bad. It just got worse because of just even more stupid decisions by people that are in charge that have no business being in charge. Can't handle it. Can't handle that shit.
Once again, the Lakers lose 115-96. Let me bring back Legend. Legend, I know that you cannot stay long tonight, but I'm wishing you a very good week in regards to what's going on with you, my friend. I'm hoping it goes well. But I want to hear some final thoughts with you from as the perspective of what you need to do to get things done in Game 5. Because again, we saw the Lakers at every single vantage point today just not bring it in any shape or form, offensively or defensively. And again, we've seen this before in playoff series where teams up 3-0 and just takes their foot off the gas. There's a complacency, maybe in the case of what we saw with LeBron, fatigue, what have you. It just where the Lakers decided to take a game off. And I hope that mentality doesn't stay there because, again, time is of the essence. And the sooner you finish off this series, the better for the Los Angeles Lakers with what's up ahead with Oklahoma City.
For Game 5, what they need to do is stop turning the damn ball over. Probably the number one thing. The turnovers are ridiculous. I mean, that's one thing I will say about this team. They've been doing that all season long. But tonight, that was just horrendous. You got to stop turning the ball over. Secondly, you need the role players to make some jump shots. Everyone was pretty much having a bad night other than DA. DA pretty much played a pretty good game. Those are my two main things. Start turning the ball over, make some shots. You do those two things, you probably close this out on Wednesday. I think this series will probably end in game 5. It should. I would be really stunned if it go past that. I'll be completely stunned. But this should end in 5 if they correct those two things. But the other thing I would bring up is too, before you go into that OKC series, if you do that, that series gonna be over in about 4. You're gonna be getting swept like the Suns about to do. That's what's gonna happen. You gotta clean that up. That's easy. That's like fried chicken to them OKC Thunder. That's all they want. You do exactly what they want. You ain't gotta do nothing. SJ will be sitting in the fourth quarter. You gotta clean them two things up. Clean that up. That's unacceptable. That is way unacceptable. Like Joe said too. LeBron, I can understand him being tired. He up in the age. But the others, nah, you too young, bro. You shouldn't be tired. You are way too young. That's bullshit. You just played terrible.
Wanted to go ahead and mention the super chats because Pinty, I know you're going to get Pinty on me if we don't mention the super chats. I know that you go to Lakers Nation and other places and they don't answer the super chats, but I will make sure that your super chats are heard from. But I first want to go ahead and give a thank you to Craig for dishing out the happy poop. Yes, YouTube does something now with happy poop. So I appreciate you contributing that, and also as well El Rosto for being a 14th member for the 14th straight month. Truly appreciate it. He said Lakers in 8. I also want to give a big shout out to, of course, Intel Wild, who said Legend is the GOAT, and that the Lakers would get killed by OKC. I'm not going to fight you on that one, Legend. I got to see it to believe it. I'm hoping the impossible when it comes to Lakers OKC. So we'll see what happens. But everybody I've said it has to be the big 3 has to be on point, and the role players have to contribute. It has to be a perfect series for the Lakers in order to beat OKC, and I will see if that happens. So once they meet up, hopefully as early as a finish off game 5 for the Lakers. But I do want to mention Pinty's comments and super chats. The flagrant 2 on Ayton was a joke. No one is disagreeing with you that here. That was a very weak call for a flagrant 2. If you just want to say a foul, absolutely. But do it to that extent where you're kicking out the only player that is having any kind of success on the other end for the Lakers, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And that you said for Pinty, for your other super chat, for me, not even flagrant 1, normal defense. It was just, to me, it just looked like a foul. It just looked like a foul. And there you go. But Legend, before we get it back to Joe, again, I'm wishing you all the best this week, my friend. Let me know when you are available for an NBA observations. As always, I know we got much to discuss when you do, but what you got cooking for I Got Next Sports Media if everything goes well?
I'm definitely gonna talk about the NFL draft recap on that. Talk a little bit more about the playoffs. Talk about how it's looking like the Spurs are probably gonna get to the Western Conference Finals with everything that happened with the T-Wolves and Denver at this point. And probably going to talk about some of the WNBA games that have happened this weekend with the Caitlin Clark performance and Flau'jae Johnson with Seattle. And we're going to talk about a little bit about the matchups and then talk about my dream that's getting ready to play.
Again, Jay's still, it was an accidental. It just, no blood. Like Joe said, he wasn't even knocked down by it. I think, again, you don't kick players out in a playoff game unless it's something that's egregious, and this was not egregious. I just maybe a flagrant 1, but not to the point where you're giving them flagrant 2. But yes, please support Legend at I Got Next Sports Media. It is truly appreciated, as always, my friend. But again, anytime you stop on by, it is a blessing. And Legend, as was said by Intel Wild, you are the man indeed. That's truly appreciated. And again, whenever you're able to come back on with us, let us know, my friend. So
will do. I certainly will.
You got it, my friend. But yeah, let me know when you're available for NBA observations as well. Intel Wild says, thank you, Joe, for the epic Joe rant. We needed it. Joe, it's just a disappointing effort by the Lakers as a total. All ref miscues aside, just the fact that the Lakers aren't able to go ahead and figure out how to cut down on those turnovers. We went from 20 turnovers in the win on game 3 to 23 today. That sloppy play has to be rectified, not just to beat the Houston Rockets, but if you commit 20 turnovers, 23 turnovers, anything close to that against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Intel's prediction in a super chat earlier is right on the money.
The reality of the next round, should they make it, is that the Lakers are not going to win that series, even with a healthy Luka and Austin. Their deficiencies are in very important areas. Number one, wing defenders. Wing defending is weak. They can have good team defense in spurts, but I've said this a few times in that when you're not athletically able to play at a level where you can keep up with the opposition, you have to spend more energy. You get more tired, i.e. Luka, i.e. old LeBron, i.e. an Austin Reaves. These guys are the 3 best players on the team, and neither one of them can play athletic defense against their opponents. They're not athletic like that, whereas Oklahoma City and somebody in San Antonio here and there that can do that as well. So what ends up, how you combat that is you have to be fundamentally sound. You have to be able to really, really know how to play basketball in an efficient way and be very fundamental and outplay that. Lakers don't have that ability. There isn't really a system in terms of the JJ Redick system to where there's a systematic offensive set that they're going to run that will not spend as much energy yet be effective in getting the ball into the hoop on a regular basis. It's either heliocentric, i.e. Luka-centric. It's going to be Austin Reaves making a play to the to the paint and hopefully getting an N1. And then you have LeBron, whose best attributes is getting to the basket, but asking a 41-year-old to go to the basket for 48 minutes is very difficult. And then everyone else is just like, well, is Luke going to have enough room to hit his shots? Why do they keep passing the ball to Vanderbilt on the corner 3? Is Marcus Smart going to be able to hit today? He's been pretty good in this series, but you don't know if there's a Jalen Williams or Lou Dort type that's standing in front of Marcus Smart. That's going to make those shots much more difficult. He'll bring the energy. He'll get those 50-50 things, but will he have time to shoot and have less obstruction when he shoots? That's where that becomes a problem. The Lakers are not built to be a championship team at the moment. There could be a chance, but there would have to be a lot of weird things that happen, i.e. injuries, another team really, really playing down on the competition, which I just don't see Oklahoma City being that team should the Lakers go into the next round. This needs to be I think they're a year ahead of where I thought they would be. The fact that they played so well the last 3 months, the fact that they have beaten Houston without their main guys and their main guy being in and out, it says a lot. It says a lot that they do have the resolve and they are playing hard to win. Tonight was I've seen these kind of games from the greatest teams. Shaq and Kobe got destroyed by 33 against Indiana in Game 5 in the 2000 finals. Kobe's 09 team kept getting blown out by the same team in the 09 semifinals. For some weird reason, for 2 games in Houston, they couldn't keep up. They got blown out both in game 6 and game 4? Game 4 and game 6. They lost the first game when Yao was still playing. Eventually, Yao ended up having to bounce from injury. And then they came back, won the next 2 games, went up 2-1. I thought actually this was probably Ron Artest's best in terms of his individual talent, not team talent like he did in the 2010 run with the Lakers, but as far as him being in his prime and being like the guy. The 09 series against the Lakers, I thought Ron Artest played his best series, where it took the eventual champs to 7 games. And in those games, they beat the Lakers in game 1 in LA, and then they blew them out in 4 and 6. Now, the Lakers blew them out in 5 and 7, but the point is, this happens, and it happens with the Kobe Bryants on the team, and it's happened with the Shaq on the team. So don't feel like, oh my God, this is some unique thing where a team goes into a desperate team, a team that needs to stay alive, and all of a sudden not play well. That happens, and it happened. Heck, even Jordan had a couple of games there where he could have closed out a team at home, and they lost. And he had to go to Utah. He had to go to Phoenix to close them out there. It's basketball, dude. We're prisoners of the moment. We think everything that happened today has never happened before. You forget that this shit happens with the greatest playing, with anybody playing. I am not nervous at all about them losing this series. I just do not in any way feel that they're going to lose this series, even if they somehow lost game 5 at home. I just don't see it. I don't see Houston winning 4 in a row. I don't see it. So I see them beating Houston here eventually, and then they're going to have to deal with Oklahoma City, and we're going to find out if there's a chance there. If Luka's not there game 1, it's over. It's over. If I'm hearing what I'm hearing around the campfire right now, that he might be back for game 3 of Oklahoma City, he will be back for game 3. The Lakers will be down 0-2, and they will run the Lakers out of the building in LA in game 3 and make it a 3-0 series. Luka has to come back for game 1 against Oklahoma City, and that might not be enough either, but at least it's a shot. And the Lakers would meet a crazy injury by Oklahoma City, somebody significant like a Chet Holmgren or even a SGA, for them to have any shot at winning the series.
And that is with Williams on a week-to-week basis.
And they've gotten used to playing without Williams. And as a matter of fact, I think they're gonna make a decision here, and it's going to be based off of what pick they get in the draft. I really believe between Lou Dort and Jalen Williams, I believe there's something that's going to happen between one of those two, depending on who they get in the draft. If they get a top 3 pick and they get Cameron Boozer, I'm telling you guys right now, if you think it's bad now, the NBA, the West is fucked at that point. That's even going to make San Antonio nervous with Wembanyama doing what he's doing. There's no shot. There's no shot at Oklahoma City. And again, why I loathe the LA Clippers, why I can't stand that stupid ass team and that stupid ass jinx of a fucking franchise. Look this is what the Clippers did. This is what Kawhi Leonard did. Look what they did. They created a likely dynasty that's not going anywhere for a long time. This is going to be a 10-year run for Oklahoma City because of how stupid that trade was. Now, there is a silver lining here. There's a silver lining. If Oklahoma City is as dominant as they have been, that at least gives the Lakers a little bit of a cushion in terms of making sure that the other guys in the Turdville don't win. Because that's another problem that we have to deal with. 24 fucking 3-pointers tonight. What you're talking about the Lakers not playing well? What the fuck? What the hell is the 76ers doing today?
And they got Embiid back.
That might have been the problem. Why? How do you let another team shoot 24 3-pointers on you?
Or
at what point are you going to figure that out? After the 12th? After the 18th? Not even after the 20th. Make them get to the basket. Give them 2 points. That is 24 extra points, Gerald. 24. Imagine if you had said, you know what? We are not going to let you shoot threes. Go ahead and get the easy 2 at the basket. You would have saved yourself 24 points. You see how it works? Is 24 points Not a big number, Gerald? That's a pretty damn big number. So let's be realistic. Let's say they do half that. That's 12 points. And how much is the momentum shift from those 12 points? You're not factoring that in. I've said this many a times. When Shaq would dunk over the entire front line of the Portland Trailblazers or the New Jersey Nets back in the heyday, he got 2 points, right? But did he really get 2 points, Gerald? Or did it feel like 4 points? Because you're too busy pulling your pants up for about 2 minutes after getting absolutely destroyed by another human being. And not only destroyed by another human being, you got destroyed by one human being destroying you and 2 other guys. And mind you, the Dale Davises, the Antonio Davises, the Rick Smiths, these guys are not ordinary men, by the way. These guys are 6'10" and 7'4" human beings that would dominate any human being on the planet except that one guy that was in that building that day.
Just think of him as a front line today. Just think if they were a front line today, Joe. Those 3 guys, if they were allowed to play as physical as they did back then.
You know, Shaq struggled. He struggled even in his prime on the pick and roll, and I never really knew if he struggled with that because he didn't care. I always try to figure out Shaq in terms of being Shaq, right? He just didn't care. I think most of the time. I think if he really wanted to play, the 2000 season was the perfect example. When Shaq wanted to play, you're done. When he didn't want to play, that was your shot. That was a shot to go after him. But a lot of people don't remember this, but Shaq was second in the Defensive Player of the Year in 2000. Do you remember that, Gerald?
Yes.
Now, it was a landslide still for Alonzo Mourning, but Shaq came in second that year in the Defensive Player of the Year. That was because he gave his shit. And he barely missed winning the rebounding title. I think he was third in blocks. So, and he almost had 4 assists a game, and at that time, that was a lot of assists from a big guy, right? Desire, momentum, 2 points. Again, momentum and psyche play a huge part in winning games in any sport. And to me, you allow a team to hit 24 3-pointers. To me, you show me that you have no desire to win. Tonight, the Lakers looked like they had. Tonight, the Lakers looked like they wanted to not have any business playing tonight. And that's a pretty surprising mentality. Even with all the stuff I mentioned with this has happened to other great teams and all that, it's still a mystery. Like, how does that happen? Is it the desperation of Houston overwhelming? Because it's the immovable object versus the immovable force versus
irresistible force.
The irresistible force versus the immovable object, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, someone's going to win. Well, tonight, what ultimately won it for Houston was I saw it with my own eyes. I said they made their shots tonight. That's really what beat the Lakers. The turnovers and the defense. Houston was already doing that the first 3 games. Lakers had, I think, 21 didn't they have like 23 turnovers in the last game?
Lakers had 20 turnovers in the last game, 24 today. There's a mystery turnover that the box score doesn't tell you, but when you look at the team stats, they have an extra turnover. So even the team stats on ESPN gives the Lakers an extra turnover. That's how bad it is, guys. That's how bad it is. Yes.
Yeah, it's so yeah, they were just as bad with turnovers, except the difference tonight was Houston kept making their shots.
Yeah, Tari Eason and Amen Thompson were hot tonight, and they didn't solve them at all. Reed Shepherd hit his shots, and
that's where it started. By the way, when he started hitting his shots, that's when they kind of went downhill.
And you got to exploit him because he's terrible on defense. He is Dalton Connect. He is their Dalton Connect on defense as far as it's concerned. I know, speaking of which, Nick T says, seems like when the Lakers wear that white and purple jersey, they always lose by double digits. And my gosh, JJ can't give Connect 10 minutes at least. Well, for some offense today, they could have used him, but he's got to hit his shots because you saw defensively, if he can't even guard Amen Thompson like he couldn't or late in the game today, it just shows you he cannot. He's like Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard stays out there though because he can handle the ball a little. He can also go ahead and hit shots from deep consistently. If Connect cannot hit his shots, he cannot be out there on the floor because he's that bad defensively. It's just that simple, Nick. It's just that equation. JJ has no faith in that, and has no faith. But today, they could have used him, Joe. They could have used anything to come off that bench and give them a lifeline today. I mean, Nick T came in and he looked terrible. I mean, it's not Nick T, but Nick Smith Jr. Excuse me. Bronny. It was Bronny.
If Bronny's playing, if Jared Vanderbilt is playing a lot and taking those corner threes, you're deficient already from the bench. Those guys can't be playing in a game like this.
Laravia has been awful the entire series.
Laravia has been awful. He's been the defensive 50-50 guy, which is fine in 5-6 minute spurts, but this team is lacking talent, legitimate talent that you could say, oh, okay, so and so's coming in from the bench. Let's do a little more running in this case. These guys are scrapping as much as they can. And Houston's doing the same thing. Houston has the same problem. The only thing is they don't have Luka and Reaves. Amen Thompson is a talent, but he's not an offensive talent. He's a one-way player at the moment who can sort of score every now and then.
That's why I think him doing it 2 games in a row, especially in LA, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah. And the Houston should have won game 3, obviously. This should be a 2-2 series right now. So they're punching themselves in the face because they're like, man, we probably lost the series because of game 3. Otherwise, it would not have been a surprise for me. I think I might have even talked about this, maybe not on LFB, but something else. I said, Lakers have to win the first 2 games to have a chance at winning the series at the beginning of the series. They did that. But I also said, if Houston wins the next 2 games, I also see them winning 4 in a row. I could see that because the Lakers have scrappy players who have kind of played above their heads, but that could quickly dissipate with a little bit of momentum from the opposition. But a 3-0 lead, you get your ass kicked in game 4 on the road, that's not really too surprising. What would be surprising is if they get their ass kicked like they did tonight at home on Wednesday. That would be a surprise. If Houston wins a close one, then it's like, well, Houston's trying to, make a run. But I just don't see Houston winning 4 in a row, though. I can't. I'm not imagining that. I'm not fearing that in any way. Similar to how the World Series went in 2024. It was comical. It was comical. And I had so many discussions about that, and we'll never know. But I go, did you guys not know that Yamamoto was pitching game 6? Even if the Yankees had won game 5, they were going to have to face Yamamoto. Yamamoto was going to close them out anyways in LA. A lot of Dodger fans were excited about game 6, actually. Oh, finally, we get to win a World Series in LA for the first time since 1966. My dad was 10 years old when they won their last championship in LA. And then, of course, the 5th inning happened, and we didn't have to worry about that. And for me, I wanted to win in Yankee Stadium. That's how my brain works. My first Dodger-Yankee World Series in my lifetime where I can understand what's going on, because obviously in 1981 I was 3 years old, but I wasn't watching the Dodgers at that time, too young. But in watching Yankee fans, and I have good friends that are Yankee fans, by the way. I love them to death. But I keep picturing one of their popular bars when Ohtani popped his shoulder and how everyone was cheering. And by them doing what they did in the 5th inning and then eventually winning in the end there, of course, striking out Alex Verdugo, who called the 2020 championship a fluke. Well, they say, I just said to the boys on our chat that there's no such thing as basketball gods. It's all bullshit, which I still think it is. But it's fun to say the baseball gods said, how do you like them apples, Mr. Verdugo? How do you like the fact that your catch that was a productive out for Shohei Ohtani created the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam? It's weird how that happens, too. That happens a lot more than you think. When somebody talks shit and all of a sudden they end up... What happened to PCA yesterday? Struck out 4 times and was pirouetting. I don't know what the hell he was doing in center field while the ball was up in the air. That guy talks so much shit. And I think it was that little pussy-ass bitch, Craig Counsell, the manager of the Cubs, bitching about the Ohtani rule. How come you motherfuckers weren't complaining about the Ohtani rule when he was living like a corpse in Anaheim? I didn't hear you motherfuckers talking about that then. You know how long Ohtani's been in the league, guys? This is 9th season. Why are we hearing now that you have a problem with the Ohtani rule? The Ohtani rule has been around since 2018. Why weren't you complaining in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? What did I start the show with, Gerald? Hypocrisy, lying, two-faced fucks. They're everywhere all the time. And then people have the gall to tell me I got something wrong with me. Motherfucker, I'm calling you out for doing what you're doing. I ain't doing shit. I'm telling you what's up. Why am I the bad guy? Why am I the bad guy to say that Adam Silver's a fucking idiot with these refs? Why are you blaming the refs for their loss? Did I fucking say that? That was the other thing I had before the show. I said, I didn't blame the refs for this loss, you stupid, misinterpreting moron. I'm saying, why would you kick out a guy who put his elbow on somebody's face and you don't know if it's flagrant like that? Why did you assume it was a 2? No blood drawn, no bruise, no one fell. What do you want him to do? Dance like this into his face? You fine Jokic for defending his team? You're punishing people for playing hard and doing the right thing. How does that feel? And this is after, and again, it's become so, we're so desensitized. There was another attempt at the American president yesterday. And you had scumbags saying it's fake. Everything's fake. Everything is fake. Basketball's fake. It's rigged. Football is fake. It's rigged. President getting shot at is fake. Even though this guy exists and he lives in California, as a matter of fact, he lives about an hour and a half from us. Probably lives, 20 minutes from where Nick Molina lives from.
That's where I used to live, Joe, in Torrance.
It's fake. This guy just amoebaed into the ether. That he just appeared. Oh, they all faked it. Yeah, his house. You know what the funniest comment I heard today, Gerald, on that, by the way? Mm-hmm. They said he shares a house with his parents. He shares a house with his parents. They didn't say he lives with his mom and dad. And this guy's a teacher, by the way, guys. A teacher. Not one fucking comment about shooting the third attempt at shooting an American president. I didn't hear anything going on there. And then I'm watching somebody trying to play basketball and elbow a guy in the face that didn't draw any blood, that didn't draw anything. Some guy defending the honor of his team, getting fined and getting kicked out for playing hard. And you wonder why where's the justice? What's going on here? Where's the justice in doing the right thing anymore?
Once again, the Lakers lose 115-96. It's Joe Sorrell along with me, Drew Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Intel Wild says just watched the Aiton foul Flagrant 1 at best, definitely not a flagrant 2. No, it's not worth getting kicked out. No, not in any way, shape, or form. Intel Wild also says, can we please go back to the purple on the road, and purple and gold on the road, and the gold and purple at home? Once in a while, the Black Mambas, that's it. No, I guess no more white jerseys.
Well, the whites were supposed to be for Sunday whites, but at home. Purple was supposed to be on the road. Gold, I don't know what the hell the banana color that the Nike has been the worst jersey makers in the history of jersey makers. I wish they'd go back to Adidas. They look like banana jerseys, but everybody's soiled the jerseys, because they want to sell these things, and you're caught in this. You're caught in this like web of trash that people like to they'll still buy this stuff. Why? I've had friends. Last Jedi, Gerald, you know how great Last Jedi was, right? Mm-hmm. What a great movie that was, right? Oh. So I'm sitting there, and that was yeah. So that was the first Star Wars movie I hadn't seen in a theater because of how bad it was, from what I heard from friends of mine that I trust. I said, shit, I ain't going to watch it then, because I was so pissed off, too. On top of that, I was pissed off at the Force Awakens. I said, this is fucking bullshit. I was expecting the next generation, and you guys just basically remade A New Hope. I was pissed off halfway through the movie, honestly. I wanted to get the fuck out of there. I was so pissed that I got taken. So I didn't watch Last Jedi in the theater, because that's what the fuck you do when you know you don't like something. You know what my friend did, who hated the movie, by the way, Gerald?
What's that?
He went to it 8 times. 8! I go, 8? What do you mean 8? You actually paid money to go into the theater 8 times? Yeah. I go, you stupid fuck. Are you that dumb? Do I really have to explain this? You paid 8 times to watch a movie you hate. What were you hoping for? Alex Guinness coming back from the dead to out of nowhere? Like, what the hell were you thinking? They're gonna keep making these movies if you go there 8 times. How many schmucks like you did this? Probably a lot. Yeah, they're gonna keep making this shitty film, dude. They don't care if you hate it. If you're paying 8 times to go to a movie you hate. See, this is the part, guys, where beyond this, everything else is good. This is where you have to then when you run into these things that you can't control, you got to go into the stuff that you can't control. Make sure you have your own. Make sure you call your shots at work. Make sure you have a good relationship with people in and around that world so that you have a good network. No matter how belligerent I sound, I still have good people around me, because this isn't how I speak to people. This is a reaction to something that's stupid. And when you surround yourself around people that are not stupid, I'm saying, people, we all do stupid things. Obviously, I'm a human being. We all do it. There's a like a little bit of a leeway, right? But if it's continuous, then it's a different story. But being around morons is, in my view, the biggest detriment to human progress, because the stress destroys your body. That's why people drink. They start vaping. I'm saying vaping now because no one smokes anymore. They complain to a shrink that won't do shit for them. So there's this disconnection on both sides, and then that's when things go south. In my case, again, I after I'm done shellacking, I everything else is good. I'm around people I like. I can watch any program I want. I'm still a Laker fan and a Dodger fan and a Steeler fan, and could be worse. I could be a New Orleans Pelican fan and a Cleveland Brown fan and a Colorado Rocky fan, or I should say, actually, now a New York Mets fan. Congratulations to the highest paid players out there in New York and Queens, and enjoying getting your ass kicked by what is it? The second, I think the second lowest payroll in the league is the Colorado Rockies. Maybe the third.
Well, the Dodgers didn't do fare so well against them. Last week? If I remember, lost 2.
Well, what happened? What happened in that is the Rockies. You always give a little bit of leeway to a division rival. Division rivals play different against each other.
Joe, that's a T-ball park they play in thin air in Denver. You and I could hit a home run in that park. Why didn't they not just go out and just?
Because it's baseball. It's
T-ball
baseball.
park.
The Dodgers are not. They have yet, I think, other than maybe game 1, maybe 2. I think they've not had their full. No, actually, they've had 0 because Edmonds been out. They have not had their full team yet. They haven't had their full starters yet. They haven't had Teo, Pages, Tucker, Muncy, Betts, Edmund, Freddie, and Will all in the same game. Edmund's been injured. This team has yet to have their legitimate starters in this year. And from that, it's been back and forth with Betts getting hurt and all that stuff. They haven't. And they don't need to. The stat that I found out a few weeks back, this team has never won a World Series when they won 100 games, by the way, Gerald. That's 9 championships. The closest they got was 99. And that was in 66. Yeah. just random. Sometimes you get into that statistical rabbit hole every now and then. So I went in. I was like, wait a minute. When was the last time they won 100 games and won a World Series? Oh, never. They won a World Series when they won 99 and 98 games. 98 was in 2024. And 99 was 1966. So, yeah. Yeah. No, wait, not 66. Sorry. That was, I think Baltimore won the title in 66. It was 59, 63, and 65. I think it was 65. Yeah, 65. Yeah. Was it? Drawing a blank here. Sorry, guys. I'll have to study that again.
Once again, it is the Lakers, unfortunately, losing today, but they still lead 3-1. Wednesday is the next game on the slate for the Los Angeles Lakers. They will get 2 days off. I see a more energetic, focused team for the Lakers, and I don't see Tari Eason and Amen Thompson being able to shoot that well. But I also see Kevin Durant finally, coming off the bench to go ahead and be able to play. Do you think Austin Reaves should play? We've talked about this before. Do you think Austin Reaves should play come Wednesday? Because it's obvious he's close enough to be even thought about in that context. So 2 more days off. I don't know how you're going to avoid not playing him now.
I'd like to have him play Wednesday to get himself a little bit of stamina back, and maybe they can win. That's what I'm hoping for. And their system isn't really a system. It's they plug and play and let him do his thing. It's just a matter of him getting a little bit of rhythm. There's been plenty of times where guys have been out for a while and have a really good game coming out the gate. If he's that guy that can add a little bit more firing power, drop 20 points or so, that could likely be enough for them to go to win the game. And that's something that I would be in shock if he's not playing on Wednesday. He got close today, so I don't see how he's not playing Wednesday.
And if you watch the end of the game, Joe, and you see Marcus Smart and the entire Lakers bench as the game ended, going at verbally the refs and the Rockets, it might be something that lights the fire under them that will piss them off enough so that they can remember to use that as motivation to finish them off in Game 5, Joe.
Yeah, Houston's just. I don't know. It's not an exciting team to bury. I thought it was pretty funny, actually. There was some mistakes that Houston was making, and I saw that one where Reed, I think it was Reed Shepard, fumbled the ball after, I think it was Marcus Smart fumbling the ball, and then Reed Shepard fumbled the ball, and then it went right into DeAndre Ayton's hand, and he dunked it. And the camera went to Ime Udoka. He just did one of these where he just started walking to the bench. You know, I mean, first of all, Ime Udoka didn't forget how to coach this year. But if you watch the games and you obviously know coaches after a while, Ime's been trying to get – it's not always the coach, guys. It's not always the coach.
Oh, but you don't understand. I went on a lot of boards for Houston Rockets since that. They are really on Ime Udoka.
And that's the sad part, because what do you want him to do? I've watched 3 games besides tonight's game. What is Ime telling Sengun to miss a 2-footer? The plays are working. They're not making shit. There's a difference. What did JJ Redick forget how to coach tonight? How many times did we see him call a timeout and go, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on? Did Phil Jackson forget to coach in Game 5 of the NBA Finals? Did Phil Jackson forget how to coach in Game 4 and Game 6 in the 2009 semifinals against Houston? Did Phil Jackson forget how to coach when they got swept by them Dallas Mavericks in 2011? Tell me. Where he punched Paul Gasol in the chest. Told him, grow some fucking heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's not always the coach. You watch the games. The coach doesn't miss shots. Houston made shots tonight. And it was helped by the Lakers not making a damn shot at all game. So Houston, it's not a Houston thing. And this goes back to the beginning of the show, because this is how stupid human beings are, and especially sport. This is why there's a bad negative thing towards sports, and the social media part is gets blamed for things that were going on before. It's just that we know about it now. You have no idea how stupid the regular dude. Tommy Lee Jones said it best in Men in Black. He goes, "The person is smart, but people are crazy, lunatic, more just nuts." Why are you blaming Ime Udoka? Because Houston can't make a shot. I've watched these games. They didn't make shots till tonight. The first 3 games, they couldn't make shit. What do you want them to do? Teleport it in there? So, it's the society of blame something instead of looking at what really is the problem, and that is, did the guy do his job that was assigned the job? This is sports. This isn't trying to build a house. Anybody can be a contractor. Sorry, I'm being honest. I'm in that business, guys. Anyone can be a contractor if you try really hard and you really follow the rules and you build a network and you know where your supplies are. Anyone on this planet can be a contractor. I could want to be an NBA basketball player 500 billion%. Guess what, Gerald? I still won't be able to do it. And that's not to trivialize the contractor or a teacher or a lawyer or a doctor. Look, it's just you can't. There's 450 NBA players in a given NBA night that can play in that league. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Well, Darwin's a different situation, Jay. I'm not saying just because in this instance it wasn't the coach. Yeah, sometimes it is the coach too. When you have a coach that says fans take regular seasons too serious when you haven't won dick, and the fact that you're in a conference where one game can dictate whether you have home court or not. That's a stupid comment. I don't remember JJ Redick saying something stupid like that during the season. He said other stupid things that we've harped on him for, like plumbers and shit. I mean, Jerry West would have. I'm pretty sure that Jerry West would have flipped his ass inside out even back then, but we'll never know. And then what happens is that festered into calling people in the '90s plumbers, which cracked me up. That's another reason why people are stupid. You're telling me, Gerald, that guys like Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley are plumbers in the NBA? Come on, dude. The amount of stupidity from "what have you done for me lately" crowd is it never ends. I mean, you tell me, Gerald, would you rather have David Robinson or Chet Holmgren? Chet Holmgren looks like he lives in a basement and eats bread and water, or eats bread and drinks water. That's it.
David Robinson with a good back, I would have any day. That's the thing.
Well, again, supposedly we have the best. We have the best peptides for the Apple users and Spotify users. I'm using my little bunny ear thingies. Peptides. You have the best peptides and other things. And then I look at the bodybuilders even in the 90s versus the bodybuilders now. The bodybuilders now look like burnt turkey with weird muscle formations. And then you see guys like Flex Wheeler and Lee Priest, Dorian Yates before he really ballooned up, Sean Reyes. You see those guys that look like gods. Like, what happened? We're supposed to be better as we get older, aren't we?
Yep.
Then you look at Wemby. Wemby looks like four. What do they call those flappy things in the pool? Pool noodles.
Yes.
He looks like 4 pool noodles on a torso. So yeah. Oh man, I'm turning into Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
It's okay. You know, you've always been that get off my line guy to me, but it is, of course,
It got worse. It got worse. I turned into. I wasn't like this 10 years ago. I wasn't.
Too many chat boards, too many people calling you out. It just makes you that.
The calling me out is fine. It's when I'm alone. It's when I'm alone when it gets worse. When I'm alone watching something. I'm watching a Laker game, and then they have how many cock pill commercials on MLB and these fucking pharma drugs that have 400 different side effects, and they have to say every side effect on the fucking thing. I have to mute the fucking TV at this point. Literally mute the TV. I'm minding my own business at home, and I have to hear this shit. It's nothing but gambling, cock pills, and dope being pushed nonstop. And you're telling me not to say anything. Not you, I'm saying in general.
Yes, I know.
So who's going to say something?
That's all that comes up on my YouTube. Oh, that and Stallone's Italian eatery, which I ate once a couple months ago, and now it was good. But man, you've reminded me every day of it since, and that's on my Google, and I'm just like, oh god, it's on the other side of town. I'm not going to go back there.
Yeah, no, and it's funny, Stefan, that you say I love the Dodgers, and you want to know why I love the Dodgers? Not because they're winning. That's obviously a lot. It's the cherry on the top, right? But it's how they conduct business. They conduct business in such a professional way, in such a good way. You're talking about billionaires who are supposed to be greedy pieces of garbage. Normally that's the case, but in their case, they care about their players. They care about their executives. They care about their fans. Every year, they're always extending things. They're giving back. They're not putting what do they call them? I think the Red Sox and the Giants, they had these hidden fees. I forgot the name that they called it. I have it on my phone. I got to find it. but they put hidden fees in their tickets, just like Vegas with the resort fees, right?
Yeah. And the convenience fee and the airport fees. Yeah.
And the correlation there is comical, right? Because Vegas, what made Vegas great? What made the Strip, not Vegas. Sorry, Gerald. I like Las Vegas. I'm talking about the Strip. There's a big difference.
Fair. That's fair.
I want to clear that up. I don't
you like a paradise. The issue is Paradise, Nevada. Actually, to me.
I don't dislike Vegas. I dislike the people running the Strip. So you have this. You're here to enjoy your little getaway. That's what Vegas was. That's what Disneyland was. That's what these places were. They were a getaway, a quick getaway without having to go crazy. And you kind of had everything there. You had gambling, a little bit of your guilty pleasure with gambling. Maybe you might win some money and feel good about the trip even more. Great. I got that, even though I didn't gamble. Then you have shows and then certain sporting events and the lights and the atmosphere. Great. It's a central area for everybody to go and have fun. And then what you do is you end up taking away that joy because the moment you get there, you turned it into what you are the stuff you see at home. I got to park and pay for parking. I got to go walk and get over here and I have to deal with this. And then I got to go over here and then I got to pay for this. And Vegas used to say, forget about all that. Get over here. We got your parking. We got a cheap hotel room for you, a resort fee, whatever. I mean, a resort hotel, whatever. Go spend your money on the gambling. We'll take care of everything else. Enjoy yourself. Here's a couple comps to a couple shows. The reason why those comps were good is because they know you're going to buy drinks. They know you're going to buy food. That's what they want you there for. Now, by the way, we're going to charge you triple for those things. And you got to pay for parking before you even scratch your ass into the place. By the time you walk to the front desk to check out, you got to pay another fee. You got to go to a box and pay there because you don't take cash. Everything is being more and more complicated. Even watching a fucking game it's a constant. Here's pleasure that's going to cost me money. Have a cocktail. Your dick is small. Your dick isn't working. Here's a cocktail. Really? Is that what is that all people do? Is that all people want? Because they wouldn't be putting this shit on there if it wasn't working, right? Dope for your head. Dope for your dick. All so that you can watch a bunch of fucking jackasses go back and forth, throwing a ball in a hoop, so that when they start playing a little bit, they get ejected for, it was flagrant. He was trying to hurt him. That's what the flagrant 2 is, Gerald, that means he was trying to hurt him. He hurt him so bad that he left no blood, no bruises, and didn't even fall down when he did it. How about that? Yeah. Gran Torino
indeed. Drip, I'm not going to be a hypocrite because I know I appreciate Drip you and being in the super chat saying thanks for not pushing gambling websites on us like all the other Laker YouTubers sick of that. Well, 4 years ago, I think right when Joe jumped on, I think I was asked to do it for like 2-3 months. I forget what the name of the website I was promoting back when not everybody was doing it, but I was doing it for a while. I was asked to do it for a while. Didn't pay me a whole lot. So just to be honest with you. And then I will be on Lakers Latest. They just told me I have a meeting with them as far as the Fanark network. Conveniently, as you say that, I'm going to be promoting Kalshi Predictions Future Market on that channel. It's what they tell me to do. It's what I'm going to be doing. So I won't be doing it here because Kalshi's not involved with me here on the Lakers Fast Break, but you'll be hearing me praise Kalshi Prediction Future Markets on Lakers Latest, and I'll leave it at that. So you do what you're told when it's not your channel. That's all I'll say.
Hey Gerald, be honest with me. Am I turning into Bret Hart?
A little. You're not quite there yet because he has gone beyond bitter. You got to admit, Joe, he has gone beyond.
At least I'm not
At
least I'm not checking the same subject though, right?
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan, rest in peace, was probably in the professional wrestling business, which of course itself is fake to an extent. As far as wrestling's predetermined, it is coordinated, things of that nature. People say it's fake. I can't say it's entirely fake, but it's not entirely real either. But Hulk Hogan was probably the biggest fibber or expander of the truth than anybody in his interviews. Just check out his latest documentary. I'll leave it at that. But I will say with Bret Hart, Joe, that he's just, his bitterness has just now expanded. It's now just not he hates this person or he hated this person, or and he expands on it to the point where it's almost like, okay, it's now becoming into a life of its own. And that's the problem. When you just bitch and moan about everything, it's what's the old adage? What's the old about the boy who cried wolf? The boy who you cry wolf so many times, people will stop hearing what you have to say.
There is him and Jesse Ventura have gotten to that abhorrent part in their lives, and you'll notice a difference between someone who's complaining and someone who's always eyeing. And eyeing is, if you listen to Jesse and you listen to Bret, it's always I. I don't want to ever be the I guy. My complaints, the genesis of my complaints come from an instance, usually an instance in a moment that just happened. It's not, I'm sitting there still complaining about Bill Goldberg for 30 years. You know what I mean? So I think there's a difference there, but some won't understand the difference. That's why I kind of asked, because I did.
Goldberg's not a whole lot better because he complains about Asuka and he can't even get her name right.
Okay? Who's this?
Asuka. Asuka, back in female wrestler for WWE in the late 20-teens, when she came up in NXT, she had an undefeated streak longer than Bill Goldberg, and he cannot let it go. He has now become the bitter old man because he cannot let it go. The fact that somebody else was programmed for an undefeated streak for a longer period of time than him. Now he has become the bitter old man, and he can't even get her name straight. It's just these bitter old men. They're just bitter old. Even Kevin Nash has become at times a bitter old man when I listen to him as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's what always made Scott Hall, and you understand your about yourself a little bit based off of what you like and who you surround yourself with. The more I hear about Scott Hall, the more it makes sense why there was an appeal there with him. You even hear it from Bobby the Brain Heenan. When Bobby the Brain Heenan likes you, there's merit there.
Oh, but he was so angry in his interviews before he had the surgeries on.
Yeah, he was angry because he was not happy with the WCW time.
No.
Shivani was a dick, which I'd heard for years he was.
Yeah, but he took the money.
And that's the problem, is if you can't take the money and complain. Bret Hart got paid so much money, and he would always throw that in there in his discussions. I'll answer your question, Carino, in a second here. Yeah, you can't complain. We've said this on the show with this stuff. If you're going to complain about the NBA, right, and how it's going, and you keep watching, then you're a problem. Just like the Star Wars thing. You have to come back and say, yeah, we're the problem. But Gerald, you have to also understand, I wasn't planning to do a podcast 5 years ago.
No.
And maybe that's what saved it in the end for me. How many of these games that I watched this year? Except I only missed one game this year, which was the third San Antonio game, the one I refused to watch because they sat everybody.
Yeah. When I
And those are the
threatened to go black screen the next time they
and
did
that was not the first time we've done that. I got so pissed. What was it? Maybe a
there will
couple
be a
years
day,
ago.
Joe, that when we do that. There will be a day when we do that, when I'm so pissed off that I'm going to do that.
Right, but see, here's the thing. Is I love our audience. The audience wants us and they value what we say. That takes precedent over everything. And that was, going back to Scott Hall and the whole kind of what you're doing that particular job for is you're there to get the heat. You're there to get the noise. You're there to create that connection. And then that connection turns into a living for them. Scott Hall would say, I give me $1 million a year instead of 400 million. Give me $1 million a year and I'll lose. I'm here for the money. I'm not here to make 400,000 to be the champ, right? Give me the $1 million. I think a lot of these guys forget that this is not legitimate. It's scripted. It's created. You're an entertainer. I think a lot of people forget that. And he learned that from Kurt Hennig, by the way, how to do all that. Still one of the, that match against Bret Hart, was it at SummerSlam? When I always remember when he put Kurt Hennig in the sharpshooter and Kurt Hennig was, I guess his back was jacked that for that match and his strap broke and the whole sequence in that last like couple minutes, I was like, man, that when I go back and watch that match, I'm just like, wow, we're never going to see something like this again. This was so good. And Bret Hart was always in those matches. The 60-minute matches, the Kurt Hennig, the Davey Boy Smith in the UK. Like, why would this guy be so bitter when we remember him in the some of the greatest matches of all time, and he ruins it with this stuff. I appreciate you guys can see both sides of this, right? Like the way the Dodgers are running things. Have you heard me complain about the Dodgers?
No, I just was telling you earlier. Again, Robleski is just that guy's incredible right now.
And even when they were losing this year, even when they lost in Colorado, I wasn't complaining because at some point you have to be in the moment. What am I going to complain about? They just won back-to-back world championship. They've won back-to-back world championships in a league that doesn't do that regularly. The longest drought in all four of the major sports without a repeat champion happened between 2000 and 2025. It's extremely difficult to go back-to-back in Major League Baseball. Too many freakish things happen in baseball. Too many variables in baseball. And that has been exacerbated due to the fact that the advancements in baseball have made it even more difficult. You have specialists that are there to get you out every inning of every single game. This isn't sending out Steve Carlton for 9 innings or Nolan Ryan or Roger Clemens or Pedro Martinez. None of that stuff anymore. Now it's your ass better get the 6. We might throw in a 7th if your pitch count is low. But more often than not, it's 6. And then you got to have at least 3 other guys that can throw at you. Dodgers have lost 4 games this year when they've done that. Just saying. But with all that, oh, well, Joe, I don't hear you complain about the Dodgers. And then they lose, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, they lost to Colorado, but it's fucking April. We literally just started the year. Cubs fans were creaming in their pants on Friday. And not only them, but the Padre fans were creaming. I'm like, God, you guys are so pathetic. The Padres haven't won dick in their entire existence, and the Cubs have won 1 World Series since 1908. Guys, you have any idea how long that is? They won one World Series, and they barely won that one. They won that World Series with probably the next worst chokers of the last 100 years, the Cleveland Indians. Sorry, the Guardians.
Last thing I want to touch on before we have. Oh, go finish up.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a button on this again. I don't want if I start sounding, if you feel like I really am sounding like Bret Hart and Jesse the Body Ventura, you need to stop me because I'm not. I am in the moment right now. Tonight ignited a couple things for me. Number one, it's just stupid that because it was a combination of that and the Denver series from yesterday, and it had nothing to do with the Lakers.
One slight difference. Jesse the Body has like one thing he'll say in a moment of clarity, and then like 20 other things that are not so clear.
Well, I'm going to be going to Baja. Is that Baja thing actually something he's actually said, or is Sasso just say it just because it's?
I think cool. Sasso just says it, but yeah.
I'm Jesse the Body now. I'm sorry. I'm Jesse the Mind now, not Jesse the Body.
Brett is just angry, and I'll just leave it at that. But before we head on out, I did want to mention Danny.
Yeah. Not as controlling, Stefan. Yes, I would say if I was gonna be, it's hard to say Scott Hall because Scott Hall obviously had his demons. I don't have any demons. I'd say if I was gonna be a wrestler, it would have been close to being a Macho Man because he was so meticulous with his work. But he was possessive, and I've never been possessive. I don't like that either. But I was gonna do a macho thing right now, but I can't take that chance again. I was fucked up for 3 days. You guys remember that? Everybody thought I was sick.
Yes. Danny, Dalton Connect did not sign for $400 million. Get off of Facebook, please. Those posts on random basketball, I get them all the time because I used to send the videos, the post games to every single Lakers Facebook group. I don't do that anymore, but unfortunately the side detraction now is I get all those bogus breaking news falsehoods that you now see all over Facebook. So Dalton Connect did not sign for $400 million, and I'll leave it at that. And to Stefan, yes, where you're going to stay at the Courtyard Marriott in Torrance, you're right near Del Amo Fashion Mall, which they've transformed themselves, and they did this after I left from an indoor mall to a completely virtually outdoor mall, and it looks really nice now. It's much nicer than it was trying to be this big indoor thing. Watch Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown that's the Del Amo Mall to give you an idea of what's going on, way it used to be before. But yeah, that Del Amo Mall has a lot of great places to go. And then if you just want to take the missus to the beach, Redondo Beach is like 3 miles away, 4 miles away, really easy to get there. And there's a lot of great places along the Redondo Beach Pier. And then you could just go along the coastline if you want to find other nice dinner spots as well. So yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's where it wasn't his gal. They got busy because it seemed like the thing to do. But yes, he ends up shooting her, spoilers, in the Montgomery Ward parking lot. And I'll leave it at that. So it shows you how far back I go. But before we head on out, Joe, I wanted to touch on something Marcus Smart was angry at the end of the game, because there was the brouhaha, but it didn't seem like the Lakers were actually mad at the Rockets per se. It was Marcus Smart going off on the refs, and in particular, James Williams, who was the guy that ejected both Adu Thero and also as well Aaron Holiday. He's also the guy earlier this week, Joe, that gave a technical for Devin Booker for saving a ball from going out of bounds. I will say that again. He gave a technical to a player for him throwing it behind his back, not knowing where it's going to go, but just trying to save it from going out of bounds. This coming after Scott Foster, everyone's eternal enemy out there. And it was so crazy because Pinty asked a question earlier to me before we even came on the air. And I looked up, I had to research because he was talking about how bad one of the playoff games was shooting. I said, well, the Lakers in game 7, that looked really bad for a while there for the Lakers. And wouldn't you know, Scott Foster was in that game as well. The guy who can't even tell whose shoes is whose shoes, whose yellow shoes is whose when they step on the line and who didn't. If you remember the last game where he completely blew a call because he saw the wrong yellow shoes hit the line. So with that said, Joe, this comes to a point where we always see problems with the referees and what's going on. And whether they're calling too many fouls, like I believe they did today, where they're giving like guys like SGA too many shots at the free throw line. I just want them to play. Let them play, and things often quite work out for themselves. Yes, there's a point where you got to go ahead and step in as a referee, but this seems like often now these days in these playoffs, from what I've been observing, not just the Lakers, but in other playoff games where the refs are trying to interject and impose their will on the game. And I think that's a detriment to what we're seeing.
Okay, so I got to sound like Bret Hart.
One last time, Brett. One last time.
I got to be Bret Hart talking about Bischoff again. That's the equivalent at this point. But I don't know if Bret Hart has ever. I don't know. Did he ever like Bischoff? Maybe at the beginning because he gave money, right?
He took his money. Yeah, he must have liked it at one time.
That's the part that always irks me. If you took the money, then you should shut the fuck up. But anyways, Adam Silver has deteriorated year in, year out here at this point, and just the control of his league. What was that monstrosity of an ad on the court? By the way, they were promoting that kids movie, and it was bright
Minions?
green.
The Minions. Remember, it's digitized, so they don't see it on the floor, unless it's on the panel.
They see it. I see it
of the scores table.
I'm trying to pay attention to the game. I see this bright green thing on the fucking court. And you're asking me, why am I complaining?
Minions and Monsters, to be exact. Let me ask you this. What channel did you see this on? NBC. Who owns NBC? Universal. What is one of the
NBC,
coming out?
By the way, the NBC.
Hold on, let me finish. What is one of the top movies coming out this summer, Joe, on from Universal? Minions and Monsters, Joe. Now you can go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know.
I would, one of the things I like about watching the games with the guys on Discord is when it's through the NBA League Pass, because I can't watch that stuff here because I'm local. There's no commercials. That's always fun. I would gladly pay $200 a month instead of the $100 and change that I pay for DirecTV if I could just eliminate ads. And there was a moment there where there was some things happening with that. Remember, Sirius Radio was no commercials, and then they'd have a little bit of commercials on the sports shows, right? Instead of the terrestrial garbage that place turned into. It was like, oh, hi, welcome to Extra Sports 690 here in San Diego, and we'll be back in 5 minutes for this, local broadcast commercial, and then it'll be 10 minutes of commercial. Hi, welcome back to Extra Sports 690. So the LA Lakers win the championship 4-1 against the Philadelphia 76ers, and we'll go ahead and talk about the box scores and what happened in the game after this short break. Thank you for joining us. I'm like, before you could even get into anything, it was I'm done with this. I'm not listening to this garbage. So I go on, do Sirius XM radio, no commercials on music, cool. And then the other was when they did have a sports show, there was very little commercials. Because I know most of these guys at that time were going to talk for 3-4 hours straight. Now we can on podcasts, right? But we didn't see that then. And then now every time I turn on my XM, it's the same thing it was in terrestrial radio. Everything's a fucking commercial. It's just greed, man. I think the greed part is where it's just exhausting. It's everywhere, nonstop, and the content is garbage. Seriously, even on the MLB network, there's this. The commercials are like 4 minutes long on their drugs. Everybody's on dope. Everyone is on dope. And I hated drugs years ago. It's worse. So, am I Brett Favre for complaining about everybody getting doped up?
Brett
Is
Favre or Bret Hart?
me complaining? And yeah, I'm talking kind of rhetorically here, or asking rhetorically. Am I really in that realm? I'm asking out of pure, honesty here. Like, I'm complaining about real shit. I'm not complaining about some bastard who accidentally kicked you in a wrestling match and now you're pissed off. Like, really, Brett? Were you really going to do much after Bill Goldberg's match? I mean, didn't Drozdov get his neck broken by D'Lo? Right? Drozdov didn't even he died. Poor guy died. And even when he wasn't dead, he didn't have this much malice towards D'Lo. Imagine if Brett had been paralyzed by D'Lo. It would have been every 5 minutes. It's like, come on, man, wake up. The amount of ego and the amount of self-absorption for people in general, and how that gets fed into nonstop. I can't even sit and watch a ball game without having to be told, do you need something for your dick every 15 minutes? That's disgusting, man. Take this. This will help you fuck better. But here's a professional way of us saying it. See how weird that sounds, how I said it? That's what they're saying, but in a nice way. It's still the same shit, guys. What? Someone who smiles while they're putting a gun to your head. Is there a difference between someone who's smiling at you while they're doing it or whether they're mean about it? Come on, man. Can I watch a basketball game where a guy can actually try to attempt to block a fucking shot and not get kicked out? They had very little shot. You gave them zero shot at that point in a playoff game. And yet you're not going to suspend guys that left the bench, but you suspended Brian Shaw for itching his ass and putting his toe on the line. You kicked out. Who did they kick out in that Phoenix Spurs game? It cost. I keep saying Arizona. It kept Phoenix from winning in 2007, wasn't it? Was it 2007 or 2005?
Or one of the Nash years.
Right? Yeah. I think it was. I think Ori hit Nash.
Stoudemire?
I think it was Stoudemire. Yeah.
The recent Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That one still perplexes me.
Well, the
nice
Nate
guy.
Smith,
I've met him, but
the Naismith Hall of Fame will let anybody in at this point.
Couldn't get
you look at the emblem, the amount of the people that they allow in there is there's no more Hall of Fame anymore. I think baseball is the only one that has a little bit of stuff in there, but even then they're starting to dwindle. They've just let in Carlos Beltran. Oh well, it's because of his playing games. Really, you're gonna really nitpick that? You didn't let Pete Rose in.
805. He did not have Hall of Fame years.
No. I'm sorry. Tracy McGrady's not a Hall of Famer. I don't care how good he was for about 5 years. Grant Hill is not a Hall of Famer. Amari Stoudemire. Hall of Fame.
No, 85.
Hall of Fame needs to be like this. You can't be thinking about it.
No, you can't.
Okay?
You can't get me on that one.
You're gonna put Tracy McGrady in the Hall of Fame. The guy couldn't even get out of the fucking first round. I'm sorry. He got out of the first round sitting the bench in 2013 for the Spurs. That's when he got out of the first round. Sitting the bench. What? And this isn't an Ernie Banks situation either. Baseball's a completely different game. Ernie Banks, for those of you who don't know who that is, the great Chicago Cub, Ernie Banks, didn't play in one playoff game. Sorry, I have to throw that out there to all the Cubby fans, but Cubby fans got a little bit arrogant after Friday night, and I think the Dodgers and Dodger Nation needed to start putting them down where they belong. You guys are the Chicago Cubs. You're in Chicago. And for those of you in Chicago who forgot who you are, I'm going to remind you who you are. Because I want you to understand, when I talk about real versus fake, this is a very big one, and I want you to pay attention to this. You're going to have one of the most storied sports franchises on the planet, a team that's been around since 1921, the Chicago Bears, and you're going to watch them play in Indiana if you don't get your shit together. So stop with the pride. Mr. PCA, I'm not even going to call him by his full name because he don't deserve it. PCA talking about Dodger fans being a bunch of schleps. There's some truth to it. I'm not going to say that the Dodger fans are fucking knobs here and there. A lot of tortas that like to get in the fights with their Edgars. I get it. But for the ones that are real like us, we're here. And I know for a fact the Dodgers aren't going to be playing in Arizona. They're not going to be the Arizona via LA Dodgers ever. Your Bears in Chicago are going to be in Indiana and still be called Chicago? Oh, well, Joe, it's only 10-minute drive. I don't give a fuck how many minutes it is. It's in a different state. We complain about the Anaheim Angels being LA. You're going to go to another state. So make sure you pay attention to your own shit. Your shit. And I love Chicago, by the way, Gerald. I was in Chicago in 2009. Happened to just be there at the right time. The Lakers were in town. Went and watched the game at United Center. Had a great time. Chicago's a gorgeous city. Beautiful city. Loved it. But they're lost, too, where it matters. L.A., San Francisco, Chicago. You know where I'm going with that, and I'll just leave it at that. You're going to lose your iconic team to another state, and you have the nerve, even though you're a transplant over there, Mr. PCA, talking about our fans. Your fans need to make sure that you take care of, the stuff around that arena, and make sure your storied franchises are actually in town, not in another state, and tell us about the real fans. The real fans. This is the real fan right here.
Nicholas Sushvili, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Skidishvili?
Yeah, Skidishvili.
Why would he be in the Skiddish?
He's in the All Basketball Name Hall of Fame.
International, because a lot of these guys get in because of their international games.
That's what I'm checking. I don't see it. When I come up on a search and I typed in, it's telling me no, he is not in the Hall of Fame, and his Wikipedia page does not say Hall of Fame either.
Carino, I think Empire Jeff had a thought.
He's in the Name Hall of Fame, absolutely, but yeah.
Yeah, Empire Jeff had a theory that it was Craig Counsell, I call him Craig Counsell, who's a complaining, whining bitch as anybody's ever been. And this is before all this stuff. I've always thought he was a knob. He's just adding more to it with his whining about the Ohtani rule. Fucking cocksuckers complaining about it now and wasn't complaining about it the previous 7 years, but he's complaining about it now because he knows. Oh my God! By the way, if you guys have a two-way player, it's a rule for the entire league. They didn't just put it in for the Dodgers. Okay, you can go find one of those guys too. So when you're losing, getting your ass kicked, that's losers always. And this is why it's important. Even if you're right, never complain about the refs and things like that when you lose, because it will just make things worse. It just makes things worse.
Sarcasm sometimes, though, Drip, is really hard to see in the chat and oh, you're being sarcastic. Oh, okay. No worries, Drip. Do you answer Arcarino's question? Why do you think PCA said those comments, given that he has had roots in LA?
I think what he probably meant to say is that there's a lot of people out there and then he's right. We've talked about that on the Laker game where everybody's there just waiting to be shown on the TV. There's truth to it in a sense of there is the reality of that, but I think you're kind of short-sighted if you think that people in Chicago aren't doing the same thing. You don't think the people at Wrigley Field are on phones and taking 400 different pictures and different angles and posting it on their social media saying I'm at Wrigley Field? Come on. Really? Oh, they know. I think the one that bothered me was, they know more than paying attention. I'm like, dude, you're out of your gall, dude. There's not going to be 4 million fans that are going to the game that don't know baseball. Come on. And Dodger fans are no different than any other fan base. It's still people. They're still stupid. People, you have a 2-week, they were just calling Kyle Tucker Kyle Conforto. I'm like, Kyle, what are you talking about? Did you just start watching baseball last night? Seriously. Oh my God, Roki Sasaki, he sucks. He sucks. What do you mean he sucks? He's 23 years old. Well, you thought he was going to be Yamamoto? Yamamoto is not human, folks. You can't compare him to Yamamoto. Otani's not human either. He's a freaking alien. You're comparing Sasaki to those guys? Is that what you really? Like, do you really know baseball? Like, Yamamoto is a damn samurai. Shohei is a samurai and a yakuza. I mean, again, you can't compare anyone to those guys. Those guys you just can't. You don't compare player. Oh my God, I can't believe this guy's not as good as Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. Are you fucking nuts? That's what you're saying. Roki is not those guys. And by the way, those guys are grown-ass men. Like, they're in their late 20s and early 30s, okay? This guy's a kid. Went to another country, learning how to play Major League Baseball on a minor league contract. Can you let him develop? So in a way here, I'm trying to make some sense with this, even though the comment was stupid. But there are stupid things that anyone and everyone does. It's not just Dodger fans. But in this case, we're talking about Dodger fans because put him in the bullpen. Put him in the bullpen. The guy can pitch, you morons. He needs to develop more. Be patient. They have 6 years, 5 now, of control over this. Let him develop. And I thought he pitched amazing on Saturday, even though he allowed a couple home runs. Still pitched well. And he's pitching better every time he goes out there. He won the game too, despite what happened. Sometimes you get run support. That's baseball. But I thought he had his best outing against a team that had a lot of momentum.
Last question of the day before you and I head on out, my friend. Joe, why do you think fans complain about one player, then the player does well and will praise them? Some fans are so inconsistent. Why do you think this happens?
Well, this goes deeper than just sports. Human beings are a very selfish being, and there's a reason why there's so many divorces. There's so much turmoil with children being raised a certain way and their behavior. It's because human beings are a selfish being, and when human beings feel any discomfort, they initially get into that in their feelings mode. And society, each generation caters to that emotion and says, it's not your fault. Somebody else did it. It's not your fault. You were raised a certain way. It's not your fault. It's your boss. It's not your fault. Your spouse isn't doing what he's supposed to do, or she's not supposed. And your children. Like, we've built this thing in society where everything has to be perfect and great. And if it's not, you need to go find something else. That's why we're weak-minded. That's why we're giant pussies. And that's why you have all this stuff going on. And that's the point I'm trying to get to here. Every generation gets worse with entitlements. All I'm doing is trying to explain to everyone that it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be in a relationship where you're being told what to do. That's something that still boggles my mind. And that's great about one of the best things in my life is that the excuses never stopped. And I've lived a life that these guys live too. I have a house. I have a spouse. I have children. I still do exactly what the fuck I did before I had all that. What happened? What, your wife doesn't trust you? That might be a you problem. What is it? What, did JSJ get jealous of what you do for a living and start yapping? I mean, like, what is it? Because the JSJs are everywhere. That's the problem. They start commenting, they start getting into their feelings, and then they start calling people out. Because what happens is you hit a nerve, you hit a target. And it's very easy to hit the JSJ target. Very easy. All you got to say is a couple words.
Remember the days. Remember the days, JSJ, when you were just a part of the chat and you weren't the ire of Joe Soro?
Validation of other people should come from your spouse, your children, and your close friends, and your family members, obviously, your family around you. I care deeply what my family and my friends think. Deeply. Where people make the mistake is wanting validation from others. And this is where social media has gotten bad, because we've been programmed to want strangers to accept us because it's an audience. The people at home aren't really an audience; they're just there. And it should be the other way around. Human beings are like that. They always want the opposite. And then when they get too famous, then they get bitch and whine about being too famous. Oh, I can't go to a restaurant and I can't eat comfortably because everybody's asking for an honor. Well, motherfucker, you should have been an actor then. Well, I just want to act. Well, then go on Broadway. Yeah, but I can't make money in the Broadway. Yeah, well, that's part of the gig. Who the fuck you think pays for that stuff? What, Tom Cruise can't go out, right? Now, I'm not saying Tom Cruise complains about this. It is what it is. But Tom Cruise exists because people are paying to go watch him. And when they see him out in public, they feel entitled to come say hello and can I have your autograph? That's part of the game. That's part of the system and how that works. If they didn't give a fuck about Tom Cruise, he wouldn't be a millionaire. He wouldn't have box office smash hits. You see where I'm going with this, JSJ? When you talk about somebody else talking out of pocket, I'm not talking out of pocket. I'm picking your pocket without you knowing. You got to come with something legit. I'm not talking for me at this point. I'm talking about what's going on. I'm just a messenger. This whole thing started from a sports incident today and yesterday. And it actually also factored into something that I think is pretty important on what happened for the third time. The third time. How many times has that happened? 3 times? When is this going to stop? Seriously, folks, when is this going to stop?
Joe, your favorite basketball movie before we head on out?
Favorite basketball movie?
I put The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, going old school. There's not a great many basketball movies that I liked watching.
The one I gravitate to a lot is He Got Game.
Hoop Dreams. That's a good documentary. I like that one. That was a real good one. Hoop Dreams.
I think
Semi-Pro's all right. Semi-Pro's all right. I've seen a lot better from Will Ferrell.
You know, the White Men Can't Jump is probably the easiest one to pick, but I found myself really liking He Got Game because I think I was right at that time when we really, really started to understand what was going on in the basketball world. Whereas White Men Can't Jump is more of a couple guys playing basketball, but it's more about their lives. Whereas He Got Game was about a basketball career and how that kind of goes in terms of what the up and coming guy has to deal with in that world. There was a little other stuff in there, of course, you know, the relationship with his pops and all that, but then that's part of it, right? I mean, a lot of these kids that are playing in the NBA they have family problems.
So with that, it is, of course, the Lakers. Unfortunately,
Space Jam.
No, sorry, I can't.
It's okay.
Oh no! JSJ, did you really want to piss us off? A new legacy. He's talking about the new.
I know what JSJ is doing.
Yeah,
I'm not stupid.
That's
okay, JSJ has been trolling for the last 6 months. Jay, you're not
doing 5,000 more per push-ups.
Didn't I ask you already? Do you think we're stupid, or was it? It might have been somebody else. Maybe it was JSJ. You think we're stupid? Seriously? And by the way, yeah, you're right, Stefan. Kobe turned down that role. Thank God he did, because I thought Ray Allen was better for that role. I wouldn't have liked to have seen Kobe in that role.
The refs are on high alert, according to JY. The rest of the playoffs, are we supposed to expect unexplainable? Yes, JY. Refs are interjecting themselves already in the playoffs, and I don't expect that to change. I don't. I honestly don't. I wish they would just let them play. Nobody gets more than 8 or 9 free throws in a game, and there you go. But obviously, that's not the case. So. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break.
No,
Yes.
JSJ would never be a moderator. I'd quit the show. I'd quit the show if he was.
He is.
Okay, then I guess I'm quitting the show.
Mark had said ask for that, and I think a long time ago. So,
yeah, unfortunately, that makes a lot of sense.
It is, of course, the yes. I know you're just kidding, JSJ. That's okay. You've been a loyal viewer of the Lakers fast break for years, and I'm indebted to you for doing so.
He's indebted to you, not me.
Yes.
Me,
Joe is not quitting.
I don't like anything that I don't like.
Joe's not quitting over JSJ. Don't worry. It's going to take a lot more than JSJ to get this guy to quit.
I'll never get over it.
Yes. Hell already. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. It is Joe Soro from the Joe Soro Experiment, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. I'll be back with some NBA observations, hopefully Monday and Tuesday, if all works out well. Scheduling wise, it's going to be tight, but I'm going to try and see if I can record both of them. But yes, Joe.
The thing is, the quitting part is never going to happen because Gerald's in charge of this. So I consider Gerald a very good friend. So that's never going to happen. And I don't see Gerald turn into a fucking douchebag like that. So it's never going to happen. But what I do want to explain here is another big important part of anything in life is if you start having nonsense that's festering, you got to get rid of it. I don't know where you have to deal with shit started. This is America. You have a choice of cutting things off.
Yeah, that I couldn't control JSJ, and it was actually Mark that brought him back when that happened. So.
The irony in there, right?
Very much.
Well, it was the Australian crew. I think it was Mark and it was Vari. And yeah, there's value there. And the reason why I wanted to get off the show was I had to at some point back up my problem with what was going on. And I didn't want to leave the show, but there would be no value in being on the show if I wasn't watching the games. That was the problem. At that moment, and it's still there, it still pisses me off that they couldn't just focus on winning and still get the same scenario. That's what never made sense to me. But the show has kept me watching the NBA. If it wasn't for the Lakers fast break, I might have stopped watching Laker basketball, actually. I know with Luka coming in, that obviously would have changed a little bit more, but it's what saved the Laker viewing for me is the show. And yeah, the Make-A-Wish stuff, and of course he makes a couple baskets now, and now we're supposed to think that he's still legit, guys. I don't want to insult the kid because again I've been very happy with LeBron James. It's his son. That's probably the only part I don't like about not being happy about that is I don't want to. It's his son, it's his son. You gotta. I'm a family man. I get it, but it's not. The Lakers and Lakers should have a better setup. That's where that comes from.
Once again, the Lakers have to now head back to LA. Still up 3-1, but hopefully we can get it done for Game 5 because then it's back to a one-day rest period because it'll be Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So we don't want to get to that point. So I'd love to see it finished off in a gentleman's sweep indeed. But we'll be back again this week with some more NBA observations. And of course, Wednesday night for the post game. John Costa aka Mr. Lakers Corner, says he'll try to be back on Wednesday. He keeps telling me I'm going to be here for game whatever, and then something always comes up. So hopefully he'll be back then. Hopefully the legend has a good week. I know he's still healing. He's had some health issues as of late. So anytime we get him on the air, it is greatly appreciated because I know he's going through a little bit of a difficult time with some health issues. So I'm hoping he will feel better soon as well. But Joe, any last thoughts before we head on out?
Lakers in 5.
Yes, to quote one of the channels that we get compared to often, Lakers.
Really? We compared to Lakers in 5?
Yes, we have in the past. Yeah.
I don't think we're anywhere close to what was it. The DJ that does the show.
I think so. I don't know. Just people just go on there with an icon and they try. They do their stuff. Credit to them. They've done more views than we have, but they're on for like sometimes 9 hours. So if you really want to see an icon while I'm going, other places all around and whatnot, talking sometimes about the Lakers. Yeah, there you go. But again,
well, he's got 13,000.
They're doing more than I.
He's got 13. Well, he's got the what I call the hot point wallpaper type stuff, like most of these shows.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some advertisements for Sin Blades here, and unfortunately, they're asking me to do some selfie videos. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if I can record these things and make it valuable in how I want this to look. I see so many of these things, and the guys all sound the same to me.
I just don't think Joe will be that way. I just don't think Joe will sound the
Hi,
same.
I'm Sin Blades. Save 10% off your turf. And guess what, guys? This is going to save you time.
I'm the hitman, Joe Soro. Let me tell you about lawn care and be bitter about it.
I think the likelihood is going to be an educational video of me telling everyone what you want from this product is you want it to look as real and want it to function as real as possible.
Yeah. Again, Lakers in 5, they do more views than I do, so I cannot complain. They must be doing something better than we are, so I'll leave it at that. But again,
different crowd.
But then again, Trevor Lane does more than we do. So yeah.
It's just
human cardboard.
Resources into this, man, and yeah, you got to put resources into it, and you can. I don't know. Just people got to know you're here.
Well, when they do, if we don't scare them away, we get them on board. So it's
maybe that's what it is.
We scare a lot of people away. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but we don't have a lot of bullshit either. Is that maybe that's
part of the problem? That's what they're looking for.
So they want bullshit.
Yes.
And we're bullshit destroyers. Oh, the irony. The irony in that, isn't it?
Yep.
So we got to put up with bullshit for us to be accepted by the bullshitters.
Yep. And you've got to have those same JPEG wallpapers
where everybody's like
thumbnails. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Is DeAndre Ayton an alien? Right? With some kind of action shot.
Sometimes the way he catches balls.
Maybe if you put this action shot on there, maybe that'll bring some of an audience. No, because I've noticed when we attack somebody, they don't show back. They don't come back.
No.
I don't think they get attacked on the other shows, do they?
I don't know. I don't follow their leads, but I know that this has a higher ratio of people complaining about something we've done. Quite a bit. A little
complaining. Oh, well, so they're going to complain anyways. It's just funny that they're complaining about something like that where we call them out on their bullshit and they can't retort in any other way other than their trollish ways.
Yes.
When you're a winner, the losers always try to find those winners to take them down to their level. And you all seeing this with the Dodgers. Oh, they're chokers. Remember when the Dodgers were chokers? They were spending the same amount of money they were 5 years ago, but they were chokers. Now that they're winning, they're only buying all the championships. You see the hypocrisy, Gerald? You see the hypocrisy, guys? I'm attacking hypocrisy, not attacking your way of doing things. I don't give a shit what you do. But if you're going to come here and you're going to give every excuse according to the situation, now you're a loser. And I'm going to call you a loser. And I do it to your face, looking straight into your eyes, if I could. Don't say chokers and then, oh, you're only winning because you're paying money. Motherfuckers were spending the same amount of money 5 years ago, and you were calling them chokers. Why now did you change the story? Why did you change the goalpost now? Who's right here? I know I'm right on this one because it makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't that make sense? You're not just saying that to make me feel good either. I don't need to feel good. I already feel good. I don't need somebody else to make me feel good. I feel good already. I feel great, actually. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And it's not just the Dodgers. See, I got facts outside my world too. Because they're doing it already to Oklahoma City. They've been doing it to Kansas City in terms of the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, he's only winning because he's being protected. Before it was Patrick Mahomes, oh, they're protecting Tom Brady. Oklahoma City, oh, they're getting all the foul calls. You notice the difference? Mm-hmm. You see? Oh, no, you don't notice it. It's the same fucking thing. Anytime a team starts to win too much, right away, the fucking excuse birds come out. Oh, that's the only reason why they're doing this. Oh, that's why that's happening. Oh, the refs. Right, refs. Complaining about the refs kicking people out for playing basketball is one thing. Complaining about the refs giving preferential treatment to every team that's winning in that time, you start to smell the bullshit at that point. Even if you were right, it's still bullshit because most of it is bullshit.
Joe Soro, he's been on other channels, Lakers channels, talking to Lakers. I've been on quite a few channels. If Trevor Lane, as much as I call him the human cardboard, if he asked me tomorrow to hop on his channel, as long as I get to say Lakers fast break more than once, I'm going to be game.
The thing is with me is the reason why I can never be a part of a corporate setup unless it's mine.
So Locked On Lakers, if they called knocking for us, you wouldn't accept it?
Well, it won't last. Most companies, most corporate companies, most professional companies want to control the talent.
Because I tried to reach out to Locked On Lakers the last time before the Kamenitskis got in. I just don't think
I don't think I can. I'm not a control type of guy. And again, there's a history of corporate environments that just has never worked. I work better as a mercenary. I work better as a merc. You need something done, I'll do it. That's just kind of how things have worked. And again, if I was a piece of shit, I don't think I'd have 5 stars in every review, would I, Gerald? I mean, that's just saying. It's out there. You can look at it yourself. Go online. In a corporate setting, the reason why I've failed in that arena is because I'm there to do a job, and I have a certain way of executing the job, and that is straight ahead. I don't have problems at home. I don't have any emotional issues with things. I don't have feelings. I'm there to get the job done. Problem is, in a setting of pussies all around you, they'll interpret things a certain way and they'll fuck it up. Either they'll fuck up the job or they'll fuck up the environment with their feelings. That's where I don't have any patience.
I'll hop on other Lakers shows. Absolutely. I mean, I hop on Stefan Piscano's podcast and, please give him a like and subscribe. And I tell everybody there how bad Rob Flint is as a GM.
People do like the truth, but not as many as you think. The truth is a heavy burden to deal with all the time. It's too negative for a lot of people. They want to fantasize about, oh, I think he likes me. I think he likes me. I think he's going to be great. You think he's going to be great or he's going to be great? People make that mistake. That's not the world I live in. I can snuff out a scumbag in 5 seconds. If it's a really good one, sometimes 15 seconds. If it's a elite one, maybe a day.
But yes, I don't mind shamelessly promoting the Lakers fast break.
That tends to it's a burden. That's why sometimes I don't go certain places with even my own family, because they know, oh man, if he ends up over there, he's gonna fucking something's gonna happen. You know, not me like making a scene. It's just they can feel that, because I have had a habit of fucking up a room without even saying a word, just walking into it. It's sad. It's not a good thing that happens. I hate that. I don't want it to be that. What I mean by that is I have a lot of friends who are with people who are suspicious, jealous, for no reason. You're just in a conversation and they get weirded out, and that tends to light a fire off. Like, I'll give you an example. I went to a Steeler game in Oakland. This was years ago. I was invited by one of my childhood friends. She's like my cousin, and she had a friend whom I had never met, who had married one of my dad's friends from back in the old country. He had kids, and I knew his family, and I found out that this lady was married to one of those guys that I grew up with. He's like my cousin, and her name was Donna, and I ended up, oh, you're Donna. Oh, you were married to so and so. Oh my God, so da da. And it went into a complete memory talk, like, oh yeah, he this that. I guess she was there with her man, and I remember my other friend who invited me to the game. She said, "Yeah, man, so and so is getting jealous." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Yeah, when you guys started talking, he started getting uncomfortable." I'm like, "Motherfucker." I almost wanted to go over there and say, "Listen, dick face, if I wanted to fuck your girl, I could do it in any minute at this point. So relax, I'm not doing anything." And that's where the viciousness starts to build in life. You can't even have a conversation about something benign with someone without some fuckface getting weirded out by it. That's where the disdain festers. That's where it's built. That's where it gets built from. I'm in public, guys. I'm not in a fucking room talking to somebody on a bed. Like, seriously, we're in a fucking environment of, you have Oakland Raider fans over here and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. We're all fucking dogs talking. Like, what the fuck is going to happen here? I'm going to put her in the trailer and make you watch. Like what the thinking of that? Like, imagine that, and we're worrying about every conversation with have anybody making somebody uncomfortable. Like, it's just it builds this disdain with things that eventually grows into what you guys are seeing right now. Yeah, Joey Crawford. This was a very Joey Crawford-like thing with the shoes and this call. Joey Crawford kicked out Tim Duncan, for God's sakes. If anybody had, when you talk about these refs making it about them and the fact that the NBA doesn't do anything about it, that's pretty comical.
Once again, the Lakers lose 115-96. They're still up 3-1 as the series heads back to LA for Game 5 on Wednesday. Can the Lakers get it done in a gentleman's sweep? We'll find out, and we'll, of course, have the recap for you on the post game. Make sure you check out this channel because I will be providing some extra content I'll be uploading, making available to non-members and members alike, and also as well, I'll be going, hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be posting a couple of NBA observations as well. And if you want your Lakers fix of me in the morning, promoting Kalshi, I've been told I will be promoting as well in the near future. I have a meeting with them tomorrow where I'm going to be told that I'm going to be doing it. So with that, on that channel, please go ahead and check me out for 15 to 20 minutes for your morning right there on Lakers Latest. So again, it's Joe Soro Experiment, man, who's happy at least the Dodgers are doing well. The Lakers still, 3-1 lead. It's more than what many of us expected. So looking forward to seeing if the Lakers can finish it off. It's been a good run so far. Can it continue for the Lakers? We'll find out this week, and we'll let you know right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Tonight night felt like more like a lecture than a sports announcing.
Well, at least we gave more energy than the Lakers did in Game 4.
Had to do something.
It's more than the Lakers did. That's for sure.